So I'm gonna do like a four part about the VA, and I'm gonna start the way I did mine. So when I got out, before I got out, so mine I did it before I got out, and I'm gonna tell you also the things that I learned. But the first thing I want to start is a lot of people I notice there's a lot of questions that people ask, or when I got out, people have asked me a lot of questions. The first question they always ask me is, how do I do the process? The second question they ask me is, well, my dad told me that. Well, one individual told me when I told him, you could get disability, two checks, a disability and a retirement check. This is for retirement also. Also, I'll get to the non-retiree, so don't think that you're gonna be left behind, because you guys, in any case, are gonna any disability you will generate money if that's what because for disability you need to pay your things, right? So I was talking to him and he told me, well, my dad is retired and he gets one paycheck. Now, there's two questions that you need to ask yourself on why he's getting one paycheck out of two. Like I said, I'm gonna be probably jumping around a little bit, and the reason is, if he got out before 2004, there used to be only one check. You either pick disability or you pick the retirement. After 2004, they started the CRDP, Concurrent Retirement Disability. That one, you get disability, and retirement. Now you may ask, but I still don't get it, or am I going to be getting it? Now that's another thing. Not everybody gets it, and what I mean that not everybody gets it is, you have to be 50% or over to get the disability plus retirement. Like I said, I'm gonna get back to the people that are not retired, because I want this to be a video, because I helped a lot of people, not a lot, but I did help a lot. Some people that they either procrastinated after they left, or they didn't know how to get it, and I had to direct them to places that I did it, but I don't know if they did it on that place. But a lot of people show laziness. So, anyways, back to the main subject. As a retiree, if you get over 50%, you'll get a disability check and a retirement. A retirement is monthly, and the disability is monthly. Now, if you get under 50%, it's called 40% because they go in intervals of 10%. You will only get one paycheck, and that 40% is going to be like non-taxable, we'll say. Now, I'm gonna make you visualize this, because you're saying, oh, that's good or whatever, right? Non-taxable, we'll say you're making $2,000. Non-taxable, 40% is $800. So you're getting non-taxable $800. Now, do you prefer to get non-taxable $800 out of $2,000, or 50% get $2,000 and another check of $1,000? You see, it's common sense what the main obstacle is, the main line. There's two lines: the 0% disability and the 50% disability. Under 50, as a retiree, you're just getting non-taxable money. Over 50, you're getting two paychecks now. Now, this ain't about scamming or nothing, okay? And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not scamming if you had a knee injury in the Navy or in the military. I was Navy, by the way. In the military, and you don't claim it. Because what you don't see is that 1 year, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months out of the military is like dog years. Everything starts hurting. That's when everybody decides to say, you know what? I want to go to the VA because my knee. Or a year or 2 years later, I want to go to the Navy. I want to go to the VA because of my knee. Now, the question is, everybody wants to blame the VA. That's the second story that I have. There was an individual that got out. I said, "Did you do your VA, your disability?" He said, "No." So I kept on pushing him on Facebook. Hey, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Later on, he sent me a message. He's like, "You cannot guess my percentage in all this." And that's the moral of the story that I'm trying to do. I know you're trying to say, how much did he get? Well, I'm not going to tell you. The moral of the story is that if you don't do it, you might not get it. If you procrastinate, you might not. It's going to be harder. So the more you procrastinate, the more you try to deny it, that's on your part. There's like 3 to 4 people that you blame. The first one is the person in the leadership position, and I blame myself. Because I used to always tell the individual, why are you going to medical? Or you could see that I'm getting mad. Or you call them broke, whatever, or whatever, right? The leadership position. Number 2 is the worker, including myself when I was a worker. Because I didn't want to show that my pain is going to take me out of work so I could go to medical. So I blame myself on that one. Number 3 is medical. Now, this is mostly Navy. On small ships, you don't have an officer doing your medical stuff. You have enlisted. Enlisted will tend to say, "Oh, I got you," gap, give you the pills, never document it. Yes, he's helping you, but he's not helping you. Because when I got out and I went to the VA told me, and I'll tell you what VA I went to. I went to the California, I'll tell you right now, the California State VA. I did not go to the military VA. I didn't do nothing. Somebody told me, go to the California VA. Best thing I ever did. That'll give you a hint that they helped me a lot, okay? I'm going to put the link below the address of the location that I went to for people stationed around California. So when she looked at my record, she said, she looked at my record and she said, every 4 years, 5 years, you don't go to medical, and then you go to medical for 3 years, and then you don't go to medical for 5 years, and then you go to medical for 3. And like I said, I blame two things at that scenario. Those 5 years that I didn't go medical was when I was in a naval ship. I don't want to say I blame the corpsmen or everything, because I know probably corpsmen are going to be listening to me, but it wasn't documented. And also, I blame myself because I didn't want to go to medical while I was at sea. Now, for Army, Marines, and so on, it might be a different scenario, but it's kind of the same picture that you don't want the guy to go to medical, or he don't want to go because, or when I say he, is you, because you're right now wondering about your VA, or you because you didn't want to go. Now, so when I went over there, she looked at my record and everything, and she said, "You're missing a lot. But you got things that you've been going through during those times that you're short duty, certain injuries." So I went to do all my injuries and everything. And then she told me, because I think you got to go check this thing. There's things that you don't know that you have in your body. That's the moral story. And I don't want to get into her or who she's married or whatever, but it was helpful. How about that? And I did everything she told me, and my VA it was great after that. So the stories that I want to tell, it's not the story that I want to tell, it's the process that I went through, okay? So when I was in the military, I haven't done nothing yet. No VA or nothing, because you're constantly working. So then I told my command I need to stay behind because I need to work on me now. Because the Navy, the military, is like any business. Any business thinks about themselves. And I know people are going to say, no, wait, this and that. They think about themselves and they think about you in their job. You don't go work at Costco and they say, you know what, man, we're gonna help you be the greatest typewriter, so you go get an admin job. No, they're not gonna do that because they're not thinking of you after you leave them. In the Navy or the military, they do think a little bit, but there's nobody to help you because nobody has been in that scenario. Nobody has been retired. Nobody has been nothing, or nobody has been out of the military. Right? It's not just about retiring. So I stayed behind. I went to the California VA. She looked at my record. She said, "Look, man, you need to go look at these things and go look them up again and see what you have." There's things that I didn't even claim. I'll give you an example because I don't like to talk about the medical record, medical issues and everything, but we'll say tendonitis. You cannot really prove if somebody has tendonitis. But I know that I have tendonitis. Why? Because I hear it's not what people say is a ringing of the ear. Some people say it is. No, it's just a little solid noise. Boom. It's like the same one when you're putting your earmuffs and you're pressing anything. When you press them, you hear that solid noise. That's the way I hear it. Unless you don't hear it when you put them on. So I went to go do all my medical stuff during that time. After that time, you have 2 options before you get out, or 3 options. One of them is send it before you get out. Actually, 2 or 3, but there's like a certain day, months, days, or whatever that you have to send it out. You don't need to send them out at that time. That's if you want them expedited. I send them out. I waited because I wanted my record to be solid. You know what I mean? It's not like go ahead, push it out, whatever I get. No, I wanted everything documented. Because if you have a little knee problem, claim it. If you have anything, like I said, claim it. Why? Because you may not feel it right now, but you're going to feel it later on. And later on, it's going to be harder to prove it because you're not going to be the only one trying to claim something. So I submitted my stuff. I came to Texas, and I was like, when are they going to do it? Next thing you know, I kept on getting these package and phone calls. Hey, we want you to go to these medical places. So at that time, I already submitted my record. By the way, before you submit your record and everything, go to your medical place and tell them to give you one electronic copy. Just in case nobody tells you, get an electronic copy and make a copy of your record. That's the good thing about the California VA. They made a copy of my record. They gave it to me, and I got to scan all my record in a folder on my email, and I use it as well. So right after that, I was going to these medical appointments. I don't know what they're called. I call them the middlemen. So basically, the VA hires somebody and they verify if you're injured or not. I went through maybe 6, 7, 8. I don't know how many. They pay for your drive if it's a distance away. By the way, they won't pay hotel and all that. So I kept on going to all these places. Later on, probably like 5 months out or whatever, that's when I got a letter, and then I got a paycheck. Now, that's a good thing if you claim later on as retiree or non-retiree, you get back pay. Now, for non-retirees, you don't have to get 50%. 10% is good for you. 10%, you already get money. Now, for you, it's called, it's not called concurrent. Yours is called, I didn't write it down. Oh, combat-related special compensation. That's what it is. You may say, but it says combat. You're in the military. Whoever tells you it's only for combat, tell them give you 10 people and you give them 50 people. I'll give them 50 people that got it without combat. So it's not only combat people. Now, a guy from combat is going to tell you, yeah, it's only for combat. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You get injured, it's an injury. You were in the military, you got injured. No matter what, okay? So anybody that tells you it's 10%, okay? Service connected. Other things I want to go through. Let me see right here. because I don't want to leave nothing. Now, for people that got under 50% retirement, what I was looking at on the internet side for VA, I'm gonna put a link also, is that you could also try to claim the concurrent retirement disability, but I'm not sure how it works. Okay. Also, clothing allowance. I was reading into it. You get like, I don't want to say how much because every year it rises, it fluctuates, and I don't want to get into how much because then you're gonna be, oh, this video is outdated. But you get something. Wheelchair, crutches, lotion, that, you know, stuff that will mess up your clothing. How about that? They were planning to make that everybody gets disability from retirement and so on, 10% and up, but the budget cuts, you could thank whoever you want to on that one. It got denied. It didn't get denied, it's postponed or whatever you want to call it, but whatever the case is, you're not getting it. The next thing I want to talk to you is about the table and how much money you're gonna get. First off, nobody knows how much money you're gonna get. And you may say, why? What if he gets 50 and I get 50? Yeah, but what if he has dependents and you don't have dependents? What if he has 3 kids and you don't have none? That plays a factor on your pay, okay? The second factor that plays on your pay is that you may say, wow, he has a 50, a 30, and 2 10s, and he got whatever. Yeah, but if you got a bunch of 10s, it's not gonna match up to his, because he's gonna get more. By the way, the way it works on that one, I'll explain a little bit. Is that the VA table, whatever you want to call it, a 50 and a 50 doesn't equal 100. A 50 and 50 may equal 80 or 70. Okay, now you may a bunch of 10s, forget about it. You might 10 10s, you might probably get 40. Yes, you may say, how is that possible? It's an unsolved mystery. How about that? I'll show in another video about the table, how it is and everything. So in my mentality and in my assumption, I'm not going to say do it, but you need a big number. You need a big number. And when I say a big number, you need a 50, or you need 2 big numbers, 2 40s, to make it a high percentage. We'll say 2 knees equals 10 10. You're gonna get like an 18 or 19, something like that. And I'll show on the other video the table. I'll probably do it in a week. Like me, like I said, I don't want to say the injuries and everything. And no, I did not get PTSD. I did not get sleep apnea. I did not get nothing like that. Okay, I got mine, and they got scans and everything that say that they could see that there's an injury right there. Okay, and I remember, I'm just gonna go a little bit off topic. I remember when I got the injury and I came out of the ICU, my corpsman, doctor, whatever, he said, man, you're lucky. And I thought he was saying that I was lucky, just like the doctor that was in the ER. Well, not him, the one in the ICU that was looking at me. Because the one in the ICU said that the survivability, if they would have done the process, was not that great. I thought he was talking about that. No, my doctor was telling me, you're going to get a big disability because of that. Sure enough, I think without that disability, I would have only got 1 paycheck. How about that? That disability jumped high, made everything jump. So I got the chart here, okay? So two 10s, because according to the paper that I saw last time, it equaled 19, but apparently this one has a 20 on it. So I guess 2 10s equals, well, this paper seems wrong also. Oh, 2 tens equals like a 19. Okay? So, I'm going to give you an instance, all right? If you get 5 tens, 2 tens equals 19. The third 10, you'll get 27. And then it go to 27. The next 10, you're going to get 34. The next 10, you're going to get 41. So in 50, on 5 tens, you only got a 41. Round it off, you get a 40. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard to make 100 with a bunch of tens. We'll say a 41 and a 10, another 10, now you're at 60, now you're at 47. Another 10, you're now at 52. So that's a 70, and you're only at 52. Now at the 80-point mark, you're at 57. And so on, if it's a bunch of tens. That's why I'm trying to say you need a big number. You need that big chunk. Now, if you're not retired, 10, 20, 30, you're getting pay. For retirees under 50, forget about it. And if you're retired and you don't got no injuries, I don't know what kind of job you had. I don't know how much you walked. I don't know if you did your PT test. I don't know if you did anything. PT, like pass your running exams and everything. I don't know what kind of job you had that you didn't get injured. That's just being honest. And like I said, it's only you to blame if you didn't claim nothing. Because you guarantee to get some injury. You're guaranteed to have some type of injury during that time, so you could put it on your record. Even though you may not get it, claim it. Okay? Because even claiming it, you get all these you get things that benefit depending on the state, depending on everything. Okay? I'll give you an example with me. Okay? I'm in Texas, by the way, for people. I want to make another video about that, but I'll give you some examples. Toll roads. There's a lot of toll roads in Texas. I could ride almost all of them for free. Almost all of them, okay, free. Of course, national park and all those disability ones, you get them also. I think that's every state, but we get them also over here. The key one is property tax, since Texas is ranked one of the top 5 in property tax. I get that too. I get an assumption now. If you get 100 and the state says that you're 100, you don't pay property tax. Like I said, I pay property tax, so that gives you a hint. My disability is not X amount, but it's between a certain amount. Okay, that's too many hints already. There's other things that you could benefit on it. You can even get a wheelchair license plate. I don't have it. And stuff like that. Any percentage helps you. Also, for if you're trying to get a federal job and everything, the 10-point, I forgot what it's called. Because there's a 5-point veteran preference, and I'll just call it a 10-point disability preference. I don't know what it's called. The moral story is claim. If you have any questions or something like that, I could tell you what to do, but I cannot tell you to lie or stuff like that. If you had that injury during your time, or you had something, go claim it. Even though they say, oh, but you don't have a history of it, you still have something. Because what if later on is going to have it? So I went to this to the lady, right, the California VA, and she said, I think you have this. And I'm like, no way. I don't think I got that. You know, maybe because she noticed my eating habits or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. So the military couldn't do nothing at that time because I'm almost about to leave. So when I got out, the VA sent me to the middleman. I call him middleman. Like I said, I went over there, and he even said, I don't think you got it. But if you want to, we'll examine you on Saturday. Because they got to give me a heads up because they're going to put me to sleep. So I said, you know what, man? I don't got nothing to lose. What if I have it and later on I get injured? Or later on it gets worse? I said to myself. So I went through the process. They put me to sleep. They say, you're going to go to sleep in 3 seconds. 1, 2, don't remember 3. Woke up. I'm in another room. And the lady nurse came. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Can I walk? Go ahead, but be careful. So I started walking. I went to sit down. And one of the doctors came in and he said, guess what? You have it. So I'm like, whoa. I didn't know that. Now, on that one, they could have gave me a certain benefit criteria, right? And they gave me the lowest one. And that's another thing that I'm trying to say, that just because you have the same injury as another person doesn't mean you're going to get the same thing. Because what if his is more damaging or proven to be more damaged than yours? You know, what if you have a scar and he has something worse than a scar? He's going to get more. And that's what I'm trying to say. Or depending, probably, I don't know. I'm not an expert. What if he has a scar somewhere else that is worth more? So hopefully this helps you guys a little bit. If you want to ask me questions or whatever, or trying to get help after you get out, well, before you get out, I'll help you. Send a message or whatever. I'll tell you what I recommend. Actually, I'm just gonna tell you, go do it. There's no sugarcoating it. Just go do everything, because if you don't do it, later on you probably will be one of those people that complains, "Oh, I didn't get it," or the VA is this, but you didn't even try to. So you have to blame yourself too. I know a lot of people that are out now. Like I said, anybody before 2004 or whatever, I do understand that there was a different process. So I hope you guys understand. I'm gonna show one of these videos of the table. I'm gonna put the link below on the table so you can look at it. But just by looking at the table, you're not gonna understand it. So the moral of the story is, last thing I'm gonna say is, the way the VA calculates it is by the highest number to the second highest number, and then it goes down. It goes from the top to the highest number to the lowest number. For example, if you have a 50 and a 40, okay, we'll say that, okay? A 50 and a 40 will equal a 70, okay? So those are your two highest, we'll say. And then your next highest, we'll say, is a 30. So now you're going to do 70 with a 30, which my paper is kind of blurry on that. So we'll say it is 79 now, okay? And then you got a bunch of 10s. And that's where the damaging gets on the 10s. We'll say 80, and 80 and a 10 equals 82. And that's what I'm trying to say. The higher you get, those 10s are almost worth, they're basically worth 1, 2, or 3 points. So it's hard to get 100 with a bunch of little 10s at the end. So at the 82 with another 10 is 84, and so on and so on and so on. So that's what I'm trying to say, okay? Hopefully you get the picture on that. But like I said, I'm going to make another video on that, explaining it so you could use the table, calculate your injuries. But just because you calculate doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. Because I'm not going to lie. I did my calculation. I was like, man, I'm going to get a 50. Nope. I didn't get a 50. I thought I was good at math, but I shortchanged myself that time, man. I'm happy I shortchanged my mathematical equation. So hopefully you guys like my video. I know I get a lot of, I jump around a lot and everything. But just claim whatever. For people that are still in the military, go to, if you have an injury, run to the medical. If he's your little pal, tell him, hey, you could be better pal if you document it, because giving me a little motion ain't gonna help me in the future. It's not. It's not gonna help you. Any little injury, like I said, go over there, put on your record, keep on stacking your record and everything on legit injuries, of course, and just keep on doing it. And your master sergeant, gunny sergeant, or in the Navy, chiefs or whatever, cry about it. Cry me a river. because when they get out, they're stacking the record too. That's just being honest. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys the best on your VA, and honestly, I do wish you the best, and I hope everybody follows protocol, does everything right, because your injury is yours, man, and you're gonna have it forever. There's things that I done at work or everything that I have that injury, and I know I'm not gonna be able to make the whole work. That's one of the reasons I quit one of my jobs. One of 4 or 5 reasons that I quit that job. But I already knew those 2 injuries that I had are gonna give out, because one gave out during my work, and I hated it giving out because I was still on probation during the work time. That was the post office, by the way. So thank you for watching. I can't express it too much. Just do the VA. Follow the link below if you're in California. If you're not in California, watch other people's VA. Some people like to post people that they recommend. I saw another video of somebody in Oklahoma. I don't know the guy, so I cannot say nothing. He's a VA master or whatever they say. Go, man. Your record. Everything. Thanks, man.